Hey, thanks, Jim. Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Welch School Building Committee meeting number 21. My name is Beverly Griffin Dunn. I'm the chair of the committee. And today we're going to have presentations from our design team, our construction team, and of course our owner's project management team. So before we begin, I am going to obviously call the meeting to order at, what time is it, Rachel?
9:31, I'm showing on my end.
Oh, good. All right. Thank you. I can't even see my clock from here. And I'm going to take attendance of everyone that's available online. So I'm just going to run through. We have Rachel, Donna from Dorn Whittier, Christina Del Angelo. Rachel, I'm sorry, I didn't use your new name. Rachel Rincon.
That's all right, thank you.
Oh, okay. And then Christina Del Angelo with Dorn Whittier, Ed Colbert, a member of our school building committee. I have Jim Hafey. I believe it's Jim.
It is.
Oh, good. Okay. Beth McGivern and Dan Doucette, Maya Betancourt, Jared Hockman, another member. Beth and Jared are members of the team. Dan is with the city. Let's see. I have, okay. Do I have Chris Lord? I think I do. I'll go back and ask again. Jeff Oxalita with Danisco Design. I have Kara Migliozzi, one of our school building committee members. Christy Lyons with Consigli Construction. Mike Burton, Dorn Whittier. Michelle Massa, our principal of the Welch and member of the building committee. Mike Cox with Dorn Whittier. Now, I have someone on here, Mike's phone. Could, whoever's on Mike's phone, could you just let me know who you are for our attendance?
It's Mike Gingras.
Oh, hi, Mike.
Hi.
Thank you. Good morning. And
Good
Mike's here with the city. We have Vivian Lowe, Peabody TV, which is Jim Palmer and crew. Vivian's with Danisco. And did I miss anyone? I know people have been popping on. Oh, Dr. Vidala, our superintendent, member of the school building committee. And I think, oh, Todd McCabe with Consigli Construction. Okay, I think that's everyone. Rachel, I know you also keep track of this, but we wanted to make sure we had attendance at the very beginning. So thank you all for attending. Mayor Betancourt, you're here. Would you like to say anything or do you want to hang on and wait? Just chime in as you go along. Okay, he's gonna wait. Let's see. All right, so let's begin the meeting. First thing we're going to do is on our agenda, we have the approval of the December 16th meeting minutes. And I'd like to know if anyone would like to make a motion to approve those meeting minutes.
Motion to approve.
Okay, motion made by Jared Hockman. Thank you, Jared. Is there a second on that?
Second.
Second by Ed Colbert. Thank you. Any discussion? Anyone have questions? Okay, seeing none. We'll take a roll call vote on that one. Okay. Dr. Vidala?
Yes.
Jared Hockman?
Yes.
Jim Hafey?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Karen Migliozzi?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Kara. Beth McGivern?
Yes.
Ed Colbert?
Yes.
And Chris Lord. Okay, Joe Scanlon, I see you've joined us. Would you like to vote on approval of the minutes?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. I vote yes. Mayor Betancourt?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, are there any voting members that I did not call? Oh, Pete McGinn.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Pete. All right, and is Jillian Gonzalez on? Or Jen Dort? Oh. And Michelle Massa. Sorry, Michelle.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Okay. Next would be previous topics, and I'm going to turn this over to Christina Delangelo to proceed through the agenda.
Yeah, so the next item on our agenda was our design update. And we have a presentation from Denisto Design that's going to walk you through kind of what's been happening since we met with you in December and kind of update as far as any subcommittee meetings that we've had and changes within the building. So Jeff or Vivian?
Yep. Thanks, Christina. So we are now in the construction documents phase of this project. And during this phase, we work out all of the details for construction. We are preparing packages for bid. So just as a reminder, this project is going out in 3 packages. The first package, early release package 1, is going out March 2nd, hitting the streets then, and it includes the windows, the roof, the steel, the concrete, demolition, and let's see, did I miss anything? Demolition and abatement. So that's kind of our concentration. We're working on specifications and really just looking at the design in a more detailed way to see how we could streamline and really increase the constructability and save some money. So that's what we're going to go over today. One of the items that we've been looking at is the design of the entry lobby. So Christina, could you?
Yeah, Vivian, if you don't mind just talking a little louder, it's hard to hear you a little bit.
All right, let me see if I could. Is this any better? No, maybe there's a little less background noise. Okay, so as you may recall, this is our latest design for the entry lobby. In redoing that central portion of the school, it provided the opportunity to increase some ceiling heights, which is really needed here at the Welch Elementary School. The existing ceilings are just very low. So in doing so, we're able to create a really nice entry lobby with some high spaces. And if you can just point out, Christina, there is a low soffit on the left-hand side of the lobby that supports clear story windows that allows natural daylight into that space. So as we're working out details with our structural engineer, we're finding that the structure to create that little pop-up is really complicated, and it could potentially be more expensive than it really needs to be. So we looked at how we could simplify this structure, the shape. There's snowdrift issues when you have higher roofs next to lower roofs. So we've been working with them and worked out a revised design next that allows us to bring in natural light. This is kind of goes back to one of our very early design options where we have a skylight. The skylight is much smaller than the one we had previously designed way back in schematic design, but it provides a great amount of natural daylight into the space. And if you can see the section on the lower right-hand corner, it basically brings the roof line from high to low so that it meets the existing roof in a much gentler way, and therefore doesn't require the fussy structural work that needs to be done. So we believe this is an improvement to the design, and certainly to the structural design, it really does help for constructability. So we wanted to at least let you know what our thinking is. If there are any objections, let us know, but we would like to proceed with this design as we wrap up our structural package. we could just do questions at the end, but we're happy to answer questions now. Okay. If there aren't any, I don't see anybody. Why don't we keep going? All right, so also we've been looking at, again, our design and taking a hard look at some of the cost estimate line items. And what we found is that we could refine some of the components, and we were able to find a cost savings of about $80,000 just by honing in on some of the scope. These are items that do not affect the design nor the performance of the building. So we thought this was a good approach because by identifying these items, we're able to buy back certain things that we currently did not own as part of the design development package. So using that $81,000 savings, we also have a list of design recommendations that nets at a $45,000 price tag, which applied to the $80,000 savings, we still are below our construction budget. Next. So some of these design recommendations, actually, they're all listed here. We've reviewed them with Jim and the working group, and we have some images to share with you. So just going line by line, we currently have linoleum specified for the floors, and in a lot of our past projects, we specify a 2.5 millimeter product. It comes in different sizes, planks and large squares. But if we reduce the thickness to 2 millimeters, which is very, very a little difference in thickness, we can save $47,000. And we've reviewed this also with Jim Hafey, who supports this. The gym flooring was not included as part of the design development scope. We just could not afford to replace it. But again, with these identified cost savings, we could and we would recommend replacing the gym flooring. It's really beyond its useful life. And we do need to go in and take some tests of the concrete. The other item that we're trying to save money by reusing and rehanging the stage curtains. But again, as we look at the condition of the curtains, it really doesn't make sense to rehang. There's a lot of curtains there also in the back areas of the stage that we could eliminate. And by simplifying the curtains, we would add $20,000 to the cost of the project to replace. And then the last two are very minor. Replace the gym wall pads. Again, trying to save money, but at $5,000, it doesn't really seem to make sense. And then the student garden improvements is the area next to the school, close to the fields where it's currently sand. We would recommend replacing that with stone dust, which provides an accessible surface for teachers to use, again, for outdoor learning. So we've got some images to kind of share for that, all these items. Next. So on the left-hand side are the color options for the 2.5 millimeter thickness of the linoleum. On the right-hand side, what we've been finding is as the years progress, the manufacturers are reducing the amount of color options. And I'm sorry, did someone have a question? No. Okay. All right. So we've also, as designers, really think color is important in schools. So we've been starting to look at the slightly less thick material, which provides a lot more color opportunities. The size of these tiles are smaller than the 2.5 millimeter thick ones, but we also know that there is no difference in the warranty and wear of these two different thicknesses. They both have a 30-year warranty. Next. So the existing gym flooring is a rubber floor that is failing in some areas. It's lifting. We would recommend replacing it with another resilient sport flooring on the right-hand side. They now make this flooring in kind of a wood grain pattern. It looks great, but it's also resilient, so there's some give to it. Also, the thickness of the existing material precludes easily replacing it with wood. Wood would also cost a lot more, but we could certainly continue that conversation. We just would recommend replacing that gym flooring. Next. Okay, so on the left are images of the existing stage and the curtains, and you'll see the lower left-hand corner, there are a series of curtains in the fly area. There are also side curtains. What we would recommend doing is, if you can look at the drawing on the lower right-hand corner, the blue dashed line is really the line that we would recommend replacing curtain with. So, and you'll see the back of the stage. We also we're proposing a series of storage cabinets, because currently the school uses the stage for storing items that they really can't store elsewhere. So we're going to provide ample storage, and then also a back curtain that can bipart to access the storage units. So in this scheme, we would not have side curtains. So next. And then the gym wall pads. So currently there are, I believe there are 5, is that right, Jeff? 5 on each wall, the north and the south wall. And we would propose to replace those in kind. Next. And this is the student garden that I was trying to describe in words. I believe we actually own grass in that area as part of the base scope. So for $6,000 more, we would provide a stone dust type paving material that would allow teachers to put furniture out, wheelchairs to roll into that space, and just allow the space to be more usable. I do want to clarify that it does not include planters for that dollar amount, but it would provide a open space for teachers to use. Okay, next. So we have also been looking at the technology budget and the FF&E. We do need to start looking at furniture. We've had furniture delivered to the school, and have had some assessment and voting by the staff. And we believe we have a package now that we can get pricing for. And the furniture package is going to go out in 2 phases, because the first phase of this project completes at the end of this year. And the intent is that those completed spaces will also be furnished with new furniture. So at this point, we are over $100,000 over budget. The MSBA allows $1,200 per student for eligible reimbursement. We know that for the Higgins, that was, the price has not changed, which is really interesting over the course of the years. MSBA has always allowed $1,200. So what the overage is a series of tall storage wardrobe cabinets and a few other pieces. We're also limited in terms of what we're providing for equipment, but we're right now in the process of assessing that and really maximizing the reimbursement we can get from MSBA and looking at other ways to supplement at least the FF&E budget. Okay, next. I think that is it. So happy to answer questions, comments.
Any of the members have questions? Okay, I would like to just explain something that I've learned, through all these discussions. That number on the FF&E budget, one of the things right now that's happening is the team is preparing, to put the project out to bid on all kinds of different facets of it. I mean, that part is amazing. If you're on that subcommittee, you know what we're talking about with the subcontractors. But on everything, they are counting on the fact that when things go out to bid or when things are being ordered, the prices will be lower. Right now, they're dealing with the supply chain issues that everyone, hears about and deals with in their own realm. And that's one of the things that they're looking for and trying to come up with a solution on that number. So that 111,523, that is not a hard number right now. On paper, it is, but in reality, what they're doing is working to find all kinds of other options to save, as you can see, being able to decide about, a millimeter on the linoleum type of thing. So it's something that they are very, very aware of, and they're being very cautious about it and working on that diligently. And if any members of the team that truly understand this want to clarify what I said, please feel free and jump in. Okay. The reason that I explained that is because we are going to need to take 2 votes today on the information in slide 5 and then the information in slide 6. So I do want to make sure that everyone understands exactly what's going on and make sure that you all have the facts that you need in order to make a good decision.
Bev, if I could, on slide 6, Christine, if you could go to that real quick. In general, we think these are really good opportunities to add into the project, and so we will look for a vote. I do want to share that on the replacement of the gym floor, which a lot of people have been pretty vocal and supportive about. We do still need to, if the SBC wants us to incorporate these sort of design revisions, if you will, we do have to study that in terms of the impact on schedule with Consigli. So that's just kind of a note that hasn't been fully vetted and will need to be. It certainly will add time to that particular phase. So we need to study that to see if it can be incorporated in the timing that we have right now. So that's the only sort of qualifier that I would put out there regarding slide 6.
Mm-hmm. And are any members of the design team or the OPM construction companies, as far as any change in the phases, you're not talking a long-term change, it's just a matter of weeks on that? I mean, the final, the completion date will still stay. It's just moving from phase to phase might be adjusted. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's correct. The overall end date is not changing. It's just that we may have to delay the turnover of the gym in order to facilitate the flooring replacement. And that's something that we can continue to study and advise on.
Okay, all right.
Deb, so this is the first vote that we're going to need, which is the design and cost estimate, scope updates and recommendation as presented from Danisco. And that's with the refinements that Vivian first explained, along with then the second vote, which was then the design recommendations as well.
Okay. All right. I'm going to put a motion in front of the committee if anyone would like to make it. The motion would be for the school building committee to approve the design and cost estimate scope updates recommendations presented to the subcommittee on January 21st at our school building committee meeting, totaling a net savings of $35,599. Would anyone like to? Oh, good. Thank you, Jared. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Was that Beth?
That's Michelle.
Oh, Michelle. Okay, thank you. All right. Is there any discussion, any questions? Okay, hearing none, I'm going to do a roll call vote. Mayor Bettencourt,
Yes.
thank you. Okay, Joe Scanlon,
Yes.
thank you. Dr. Vidala,
Yes.
Jared Hockman,
Yes.
Jim Hafey,
Yes.
Pete McGinn,
Yes.
okay. Michelle Massa,
Yes.
Kara Migliosi,
Yes.
Ed Colbert,
Yes.
Jillian Gonzalez. Okay. Beth McGibbon,
Yes.
Dr. Lord, okay, and I vote yes as well. That motion passes. Thank you all. Now, the next item we have to take a vote on is,
Actually, since we included the design and the cost estimate refinement and the design recommendations, it technically encompasses both of those. So I think that one vote will suffice for both of those refinements.
okay, all right. So folks, just so you know, you're approving the money, and you're approving those changes that they've recommended. Is everyone okay with that? Anybody want to have a question about it? Seeing none, we'll move on. Thanks, Christina, for clarifying that. That's good.
No worries. So just the next agenda item that we had was in regards to schedule. And so I just wanted to bring up kind of our milestone schedule with you and let you know of some upcoming dates, just so everyone is aware. The meeting dates are a little bit off on the schedule, but we'll make sure we plan accordingly. We should have our next meeting probably the second or last week of February. We'll confirm the dates with the core group to see which Thursday works best for everyone. But we'll be sending out that agenda and schedule and meeting invite in the next week or so. And then just to remind everyone, we're working on our early release packages, number 1 and number 2, for February and March. Also, at the same time, we're currently working on the pre-qualification of the subcontractors. We received our statement of qualifications on Wednesday. We received a great number of subcontractors for all the trades. I think everyone can say that we felt really good about the turnout of all the statement of qualifications that we did receive. And so with that subcommittee, we'll be working in the next couple of weeks to do the overall evaluations, and we'll meet then to overall provide the overall subcontractors that have been pre-qualified, and they'll receive then their notifications, and then we'll invite them to bid as well. So just wanted to provide some updates as far as where we stand with some upcoming milestones. We were also supposed to have a community meeting on Monday, the 24th, but due to some scheduling conflicts with other meetings that are occurring within the district itself, I'm asking that we move that community meeting to the 31st on Monday, the 31st at 6 p.m. I believe that meeting time worked for the majority of the project team and with all of the different members that will be presenting. So what we'll work on is sending out that meeting invite today, as well as we'll be then sending out the community meeting flyers to all the local neighbors, and then it can be broadcasted also on the project website. Anyone have any questions in regards to the schedule update? So Bev, that's all we had for today as far as important items on the agenda, and then just any other topics not anticipated.
Is there anyone present who has any topic that they need to bring up? Okay. I don't see any members of the public on the participants. And Jim Palmer, do you have anyone at all on yours, on your end? Okay. All right. Well, if there's nothing further, I guess we'll just go into the next meetings. As you saw the schedule with Christina, we'll be prepared for that January 31st community meeting. And that will be broadcast on PATV. Thank you, Jim Palmer. And then, as Christina said, the February meeting, we will get that information out to you as soon as possible. It's just trying to make that meeting schedule work with the information that the teams are pulling together so that they have, a good solid agenda to present to everyone here. So I can tell you, we did get information from the MSBA. They approved the documents that were submitted last week or 2 weeks ago. And that's really good because it's another step in the process. So that's very good. And is there anything else, Mike, Christina, Vivian, anything?
No, I think we were, it was nice to see that we received, few comments regarding our design development submission and that the MSBA approved that submission as well as our project scope or project funding agreement as well. And so we're heavily involved in moving forward with the design aspect. And so I think everything's going very well with the process.
We think MSBA is pleased with us. We go by the number of comments they make on the paperwork that's submitted. Okay, if there's nothing else, Mayor Betancourt, do you want to say anything? It's your chance.
No, nothing specific. I just wanted to get the updates and everything. So very pleased with how things are going. And again, I appreciate everybody's hard work. It's been a process, but I feel like we're getting closer and closer, and I'm really excited about it. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you. All right, everyone, thanks for attending. And I think this was our quickest meeting so far. Good job.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Bev. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.